And then we have this side face is called a B, and we have two B's. So we have this front face A, then the back face A, and then we have this side face B, and then we have another B on the other side. So hopefully you guys are plugging away ahead of me because I'm taking my time here. What am I dealing with? Well, I have 2 side A, and I'm going to add to that 2 times side B. Now, because this is a shed, I'm not worrying about the floor because I don't need to figure out the surface area of the floor because it's ground or dirt or something like that. All right, so I have 2. Side A is 4 by 5. So I'm going to go 2 times 4 times 5. And side B is 6 by 5. So I'm going to go 2 times 6 times 5. Now, if you want to remember your order of operations, we're going to have to do the multiplication first, and then we're going to have to add those together. So 4 and 5 gives me 20 times 2 is 40. 6 times 2 is 12 times 5. All in total, we're going to end up with 100. And in this case, feet squared. Everything's in feet. So that's going to give us the surface area of the 4 sides of that shed. The front, the back, the left, the right. I don't have to worry about the top. I don't have to worry about the bottom. The top's hidden under my triangular prism up here, and the bottom is, we'll pretend it's dirt because it's a tool shed. The next thing we have to deal with is the surface area of the triangular prism. And the triangular prism is just a fancy word for that, that thing that's on the top. It's just a big triangle that's been stretched out. So anytime we have a 2-dimensional shape, we kind of stretch it out, call it a prism. So a triangular prism, we'll kind of think about it the same way. I'll do this again. I have this front side, we'll call it A. And then I have A on the front, A on the back. So I have those 2 A's. And then I have this kind of the 2 sides of my roof. If you think about it in terms of a roof, I have a B on one side and a B on the other side. So I have 2 times the triangle, and then to that I'm going to add 2 times the rectangle. Can anybody see one problem we're going to run into here with our rectangle? The triangle's good. We have the base. The base is 4, and then the height is 3. So we have the base and the height of our triangle. Well, what's wrong with the rectangle? Yeah, Abby, you're a step ahead of me. With the rectangle on top, this, I'll just maybe outline it in green so everybody knows what I'm talking about. We have this rectangle here. I don't have all the measurements for it. I know that the kind of the length across the peak is 6 from here to here. But I don't know how long or wide it is, I guess. We don't know the width. So Abby and Ava are all over it. So yes, it's a Pythagorean theorem question. So I'm just going to draw the triangle really quick. That is a terrible right triangle. There we go. So I have this right triangle, if you can think about it right here on the front. And if I can figure out, let's call it the width of that rectangle. I know the base is 4 all the way across, so half of it's 2, and this is 3. So if I use the Pythagorean theorem like I've been doing, a squared plus b squared is c squared, I'm going to get 3 squared plus 2 squared is c squared. 9 and 4 gives me 13 c squared. And then finally, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And I called it c. I also called it w. I probably should have put a w in there. Square root of 13 I don't have that memorized. 3.605 is our width for our rectangle. So now I can go back and plug in everything I know. I have 2 times the area of the triangle. The triangle is going to be base times height divided by 2. I'm then going to add to that 2 times the area of my rectangle, and my rectangle is just going to be length times width. Now I should have everything I need here. One thing that might be confusing, and I don't intend to confuse you, but I have base and height and then length and width. A lot of times those can be the same things, but it's just kind of what we go with in terms of the shapes. We always call a triangle base times height divided by 2. It's just how I remember it. So the base of my triangle is 4. The height of my triangle is 3. I'm going to divide that by 2 and then multiply it by 2. The length of my rectangle, we'll call it 6. The width I found to be 3.605. And I have 2 of those as well. At this point, we kind of have 2 steps figured out. This 2 and 2 are going to cancel. If you want to multiply by 2 and divide by 2, you can. If not, then just 4 times 3 is going to give us 12. Then we're going to add to that. It's going to be a decimal, so I'm going to have to actually calculate it. 43.26. So this is 55.26, and that 6 just keeps on going on forever. So to just stop and think about where we're at, I found at the very beginning, I found the area of the rectangular prism, or the kind of the walls of my shed. And now I just found, as part of the roof, that triangular prism, I found the surface area of that. So I'm not quite done yet. I've kind of found the 2 composite parts, the surface areas I'm interested in. Now I need to take them and just add them together. So we'll call it surface area total. And we're going to take the number from up above, the 100 feet squared. We're going to add to it the 55.266 feet squared. And we're going to end up with 155 feet squared. And with that, I've unfortunately run out of time, but I promised you guys I'd go through some of the older material questions. I know that some of you still have a few that you'd like me to go through from lessons 3 and 4. I'll do that at the beginning of next class, promise. And we're done this unit now. So you should be able to finish off the review, or called the learning guide, I guess. You should be able to do all the quizzes. And that's kind of where we're at. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Next class, I promise I'll dedicate some time to going through any questions you had from the learning guide, any questions you've had from any of the previous lessons, anything like that, and I'll go through them in class. And then if we have time, I'll start the next unit, but we won't worry about that too much. can I open up the worksheets for Unit 1? Yes, I will definitely open up the worksheets from Unit 1. As soon as I head back to my desk, I'll get them all open for you. So that's kind of it. Hopefully you guys try to go through as much of that as you can for tomorrow. So any questions you have, you can ask. And then I will make sure as soon as you hand in your learning guides, I'll get them back to you with the password for the test. So you can write the test whenever you want over the next few days. I won't see you guys again until, I'll see you tomorrow, and then you guys have the whole weekend. So goodbye, and we'll see you tomorrow.